Today I'm going to show you how to use the Zoku Quick Pops, a really innovative system for making frozen pops in a matter of minutes rather than several hours like the traditional method. To begin, I'm going to make sure my base is frozen. I've had this in my freezer for at least 24 hours. It could take longer depending on your freezer, but it does need to be very, very cold. To start, I'm going to insert my sticks into the molds. These 6 sticks all come with a Zoku. They fit easily inside. And I'm going to start by making a cranberry pop. I have my juice here that is also very, very cold. That's very key in making quick treats that will freeze in just a few moments. I'm going to pour the juice into the mold up to the indicated line. You have to be careful not to overfill these because the juice will expand once it's in the freezer. For my second pop, I'm going to try a layered one, maybe 3 different flavors. Sounds really great. I'm going to start with the orange. I'm going to pour just a couple inches into the bottom and give that a few moments to set up. For my third pop, I always love those combined flavor pops, like maybe a little orange flavored juice and some cream. Love those. This is a really great system to make them. I'm going to fill my entire mold with the orange juice. Let that set up for a bit, and then I'll show you my really great trick for removing the center core so I can add my second flavor. The Zoku comes with these 6 sticks, 6 drip trays, and 1 super tool for easy removal. And these will freeze in 7 to 15 minutes, depending on how warm the base gets while it's sitting out. And using this one base that has been frozen for, again, roughly 24 hours, you can make up to a dozen different pops. And feel free to get creative with your flavors. You can use your own natural fruit juices, like watermelon that you blend in a blender, or your kids' pre-made favorite juices, grape juice, orange juice, whatever they like. But it gives you the ability to get very creative with your flavors and your flavor combinations. Okay, it looks like my orange is starting to freeze up. You can always test it by using a little stick, and it looks like the edges are getting nice and solid. So let me show you a great trick for removing the center. I'm just going to use a straw here, and I'm going to very gently just remove the middle. Your kids are going to have a great time doing that. It's really neat. You can see how the orange has set up on the outside of the pop, so I can now pour a different flavor in the middle. I'm going to use some sweetened yogurt. Gently pour that in. And when it unmolds, you'll be really impressed with how great that looks. Now my center layered pop should be about ready for its second layer. And sure enough, it does feel nice and slushy at the bottom, so it's time to add that middle layer. And I think I'm going to do grape juice. We'll let that freeze a bit, and then we'll add our third layer. You can also get really creative with your layers. For example, you can always tilt the Zoku by resting a little book underneath or some other prop so it tilts on a slant, so you can get these neat slanted layers when you make your frozen pops. We'll let these set up for just a few more minutes, and then when we unmold, get ready for some great surprise frozen treats. One thing I really like about the Zoku is that there's no cord to plug in. It relies on the same technology as an ice cream maker with a super cold chilled base that will set up your pops in just a matter of minutes. And speaking of, I think mine are ready to unmold. To easily remove them, I'm going to use the super tool. It easily screws in to the top of each pop, and I can actually see the pop begin to pull away from the frozen walls of the Zoku. I'm going to loosen it and easily remove that. Look at how beautiful that pop turned out. I am going to put it back in the mold, however, so I can add my drip tray on the bottom, and then it'll be ready for the kids to eat. So again, I'm going to remove the super tool, easily snap in the drip tray, and wiggle this guy out, and there you go. Perfect. Let me show you the others that I've made. In the middle, we have our layered pop. So again, loosen with the tool. And look how beautiful that guy turned out. This non-stick coating that is food safe releases the pops very, very easily. Now after these 3 are out of the molds, I can refill the molds with more juice and make another round. And those may take a little longer to set up since the base has been sitting out of the freezer for a little bit longer now. And here was that core orange and yogurt pop I made. I snap on my final drip tray, and I have 3 delicious fruit pops ready for the kids to enjoy. Again, I would recommend getting as creative as possible when you're making these pops. And you can use any juice that has natural sugar in it, but it doesn't have to be sugar. It could be honey, molasses, maple syrup. Here are some other examples of pops that I've made earlier. Look at how cute this watermelon pop is. Using my red juice, a thin layer of the yogurt, and then some green lime juice. I made this fudgy pop using different pudding mixes to create the 3 different layers. So delicious. And feel free to experiment with your favorite fruit, sliced strawberries or bananas or even crushed fruit. Using the Zoku Quick Pop system, you are going to enjoy your fresh homemade pops in just a matter of minutes.